Welcome to today's math lesson on choosing a corresponding word problem to an equation with variables on both sides. Our do now reads, an ice cream shop has a sign in the shape of an ice cream cone, pictured here. The sign is made using a semicircle and a triangle as modeled below. What is the area of the sign in square inches? So the two shapes that I can see are a semicircle, but we're going to start with the formula for a full circle and then a triangle. So the area formula for a circle is going to be pi radius square. And then the area formula for a triangle is going to be half times base times height. So we're given the diameter of the circle, and to figure out the radius, we're going to have to divide the 6 divided by 2. So our radius is 3. We're using 3.14 as pi, so we have 3.14 times 3 squared. Three squared is 9, so we have 3.14 times 9, and that is 28.26. Our unit of measurement in this problem is inches, so inches squared. And that's the area for a full circle. Because we have a semicircle or half a circle, we're going to have to divide the 28.26 by 2. And that gives us 14.13 inches squared. Then for the triangle, our base length of the triangle is the 6 inches, so we have half times 6. And then our height is going to be 12. So first we're going to multiply. 6 times 12 is 72, and then we have to figure out half of 72, and that is 36. So the area of the triangle is 36 inches squared. To find the area of the figure, we're going to have to add together the area of the semicircle or the half circle and the area of the triangle. So we're adding together 14.13 and the 36. And that gives us 50.13. So that will be our answer, 50.13 inches squared. Today's TEK is 8.8b. Our lesson target is I will write a corresponding real-world problem when given a one-variable equation with variables on both sides of the equal sign using rational number coefficients and constants. And our DOL is given 4 problems. I will answer those kind of questions with 100% accuracy. So just to take a closer look of equations with variables on both sides, in this example, we have 20x plus 50 is equal to 30x. So there's the left side and the right side of the equal symbol. And each side represents the same situation, but the coefficient, so the numbers in front of the variable, in this case x, the number is in front of the x, and the constant, which the independent term, may be different. So again, 20 in this case is the coefficient, it's the unit rate, it's the slope. 50 is the constant, and 30 is also a coefficient, unit rate, slope. So today we're working with equations, so we're going to have the equal to sign. Inequality, we worked with yesterday. Fixed cost is usually a sign that that's going to be the constant. Variable cost means changing cost. So that's usually a sign that that's going to be the slope, the unit rate, the coefficient. So in this example of an equation with variables on both sides, we have 3x plus 2 is equal to x plus 10. Our coefficients are 3 and 1. We might not see a 1, but we know that in front of every variable, there's a 1 if there's no number. Then our constants are 2 and 10. For this IG problem, we have to answer which situation can be represented by this equation. So we have 3x minus 2 is equal to x plus 10. So in this case, our coefficients, our slopes are 3 and 1. And then our constants are -2 and +10. So we're going to go through each answer choice and write out what the equation is, or at least look for keywords that can help us cross out any of the answer choices. So answer choice A says, Misael has a bucket that originally contained 3 liters of water. So that means that the starting value or the constant has to be 3. In this case, our slope is 3, so it's not this one, and is being drained at a rate of 2 liters per minute. So if our constant is 3 and it's being drained, we know that we're subtracting. 2 liters per is the key word to tell us that the 2 is our coefficient or our slope. Let's just use x as the number of minutes or our variable for this problem. Daniel has a bucket that originally contained 10 liters of water. So our constant is 10 and is being filled. So because the bucket's being filled, we're going to be adding, in this case, not subtracting, at a rate of 1 liter per minute. So per tells us that the 1 is going to be our coefficient or our slope. So we have 1x, with x still representing the number of minutes passed. What is x? The number of minutes that need to pass in order for the 2 buckets to contain the same amount of water. So the key word that we know, how we know, the indication that this is an equation is that we have to figure out the same amount. So we have 3 minus 2x is equal to 10 plus 1x. From the 3 liters of water, we could have already figured out that answer choice A was not the correct situation for this equation, but I also just wrote out what the situation appropriate equation would be. Answer choice B says Misael started with a savings of $3. So that's the initial value. So that's going to be our constant, and spends $2 of his savings every week. So if he's spending the money, we're going to subtract that 2x, since the key word is every week. So that makes the $2 the slope or the coefficient. Daniel started with the savings of $1 and adds $10 to his savings every week. So 1 is the constant, 10 is the slope or the coefficient. X is the number of weeks that pass. What is X, the number of weeks that need to pass for Misael and Daniel to have the same amount of savings? So we have 3 minus 2x, which is not the same thing as 3x minus 2. So it's not going to be answer choice B. Also because in this case, we have 1 plus 10x, not 1x plus 10. Now we're going to look at answer choice C. It says Misael started with 3 cans of food for a food drive, so 3 is going to be our constant. He collects 2 more cans every day, so the keywords are more and every. So 2 tells us, or 2 is going to be the slope or the coefficient because of the keyword every, more meaning that we're going to be adding. Now, again, I'm just using X to represent the number of days. Daniel started with 10 cans of food for the food drive, so that's going to be our constant. He collects a can every day, a can being 1 can, and then X again are still representing the number of days. What is X, the number of days that needs to pass in order for Misael and Daniel to have the same number of cans of food? So in this case, we have 3x plus, or 3 plus 2x, which is not the same thing as 3x minus 2. So our answer has to be D, but just to make sure, we're going to read the situation and write an appropriate corresponding equation to see if it matches. So it says Misail owed $2. Okay, so that's -2 is our constant because that's his starting value. But he started saving $3 every week once he got a job. So the keyword every tells us that the 3 is going to be our slope or our coefficient. X is going to represent the number of weeks. And we're going to add the 2 since he started saving that amount. So that's money that he should be having. Daniel had $10 and saved $1 every week. So then it's 10 plus 1x. What is x the number of weeks that needs to pass for Misail and Daniel to have the same number of savings? So for our equation, we have -2 plus 3x is equal to 10 plus 1x, which is equivalent to 3x minus 2 is equal to 1x plus 10. And it's equivalent because if we switch around -2 plus 3x, we would get the 3x minus 2 is equal to, if we switch around the 10 plus 1x, we'd get 1x plus 1. And that is our equation given to us. For the second I do problem, it reads, which situation can be represented by this equation? 5x plus 12 is equal to 3x plus 18. So we see that our slope or our coefficients are 5 and 3. And then our constants are 12 and 18, positive 12 and positive 18. So we're going to go through the answer choices and look for keywords that can tell us that that's not the correct answer choice, or that do tell us that is the correct answer choice. We're also going to be writing the appropriate equation or the corresponding equation for that answer choice. So answer choice A reads, Kimarian rode his bike on 2 different days. The first day he rode 17 miles per hour. So 17 is going to be our slope or our coefficient, 17x. The second day he rode 21 miles per hour. 21 is also going to be our slope or our coefficient. So we have 21x. What is x the number of hours that Kimarian would have to ride his bike to travel the same distance on both days? So I'm going to put an equal to symbol. 17x is equal to 21x. That's definitely not the equation that's given to us. So we're going to cross out answer choice A. Answer choice B says Kimarian rode his bike on 2 different days. The first day, he rode 5 miles per hour and started 18 miles from his house. So we have 5 is our slope or coefficient. X is the number of hours, then plus the 18. The second day, he rode 3 miles per hour and started 12 miles from his house. So 3 is going to be our slope or our coefficient, 3x plus 12. What is x the number of hours that Kimarian would have to ride his bike to travel the same distance on both days? Since it's the same distance, we're going to put an equal to sign in between the two equations. So we have 5x plus 18, which is not the same thing as 5x plus 12, is equal to 3x plus 12. So it's definitely not answer choice B. Answer choice C says Kimarian started with 12 points on a game. So his starting value is 12. So that's going to be our constant. And on each level, he earned 5 points. So that's our sign or our indicator that 5 is going to be our slope or our coefficient. So we have 12 plus 5x. Then it says Markel started with 18 points on a game. So 18 is going to be our other constant, and he earned 3 points on each level. So plus 3x. What is x the number of levels that Kimarian and Markel would have to play in order for them to have an equal number of points? So then we're going to set them equal to each other. So we have 12 plus 5x is equal to 18 plus 3x. If we switch around the numbers, if we put the 12 behind the 5, it would be equivalent, right? So we would have 5x plus 12 is equal to 3x plus 18 if we switched on the order. So the answer choice is C. But we're going to go through answer choice D to write the equation for that one just to make sure. So Kimarian works a job where he gets a flat rate of $5. The flat rate is going to be our constant plus an hourly rate of $12 an hour. So 12 is our slope or a coefficient. Markel works a job where he gets a flat rate of $3 plus an hourly rate of $18 an hour. So 18 is going to be our slope or our coefficient. What is X, the number of hours that Kimarian and Markel have to work to make the same amount? So in this case, we have 5 plus 12x, which is not the same thing as 5x plus 12, so it's not answer choice D. There's we do problems, and then you do problems, and then finally, your 4-question Google form DOL. Thank you so much for following along in today's math lesson, and see you in the next math video.